Hey, I'm excited. We've got a guy in the professional walleye trail who's the jigmeister. His name is Daryl Christianson. Daryl and I are good friends, and I asked him if he'd come out to see the fall colors with me and we'd do a little fishing. Well, I tricked him. When I got him in the boat, all we had was jigging spoon rods. We're gonna find out how to spoon fish. Welcome to the next bite. Oh, there's one. Oh, man.
The use of jigging spoons is one of the most unknown and underrated of all walleye techniques. Only a few have mastered their effectiveness, and two of those educated walleye anglers are tournament touring pros Gary Parsons and Daryl Christianson.
Yeah, it's a big walleye.
Daryl in particular has mastered the art of spoon fishing for walleyes, and today we'll show you some tricks that'll put more fish in the boat.
Yes, sir. Just taking it easy? Yeah.
Daryl Christianson has met up with Gary Parsons at his home in northern Wisconsin. The two are planning an excursion to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. But first, Gary's got to take care of some business.
This is what it's really like to be a professional fisherman. You have to pay your credit card bills on time so you don't end up going over that interest rate special they have running every month.
On that TV.
With a kiss from the wife for good luck, Daryl and Gary are set for their Yooper adventure. Several hours later, our anglers arrive in Michigan's UP.
Just make sure everything's plugged in, and we're going to run up by the lakes. Take a look at where we can maybe get any bait if we need to, or make sure where the boat landings are. It's kind of an adventure.
It's an adventure.
We should have brought the boat, Daryl.
Where's the boat?
There's still an hour of
Yeah.
daylight.
Why would they be biting right now?
Yeah. This time of year, you wonder about the lake turning over. What happens is the surface area, or the surface water of the lake cools down, and it starts to get the same temperature as the layers of water underneath, and then all of a sudden, the water will flip-flop, and you can usually tell a lake's turned over by leaves and debris and stuff floating throughout the water column and on the surface. But it doesn't look like that's happened. Daryl just checked with his hands. It seems like the water surface temperature is still pretty warm. And what that means is normally it's more stable conditions. Turnover, the days of turnover are kind of tough. After turnover, a week or so later, the fishing gets good again.
The next morning, Gary and Daryl are up early and ready to fish.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighborhood, you and mine.
This lake is small and spoon fishing covers water fast, so the anglers start by working along the structure-laden shoreline not far from the launch ramp. They cast their jigging spoons in as shallow as 4 feet and retrieve them back in a hopping motion up off the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
You got one, Daryl?
Yep.
A good one?
Good one.
You get the net right
It's a
away.
nice fish, Gary.
Huh?
It's a good fish.
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Don't get me
okay.
quick. I'm hooked up here. I got my net all tangled up. There we go. The Spoonmeister strikes! You like that net
I
job?
like that net job. Very good.
That's a nice fish,
Nice fish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice job. Wow.
Spoonfish, baby.
Look at how he drilled it out.
Teeth, baby, teeth. We only fish with teeth.
Exactly.
Fangs.
Good deal, boy. That is a nice fish.
Beautiful.
Good color,
Look at
too.
the color, huh?
Yep.
Huh? Look at this. Gold. Boy. Whoa, baby. I don't know if that fish followed it out, but I don't think he did. I think I brought the bait into him about halfway between us and shore at about 12 feet of water. He hit it on the drop, which is good because that's an aggressive bite for these guys.
Maybe there's more if they're that aggressive. You know, if there's a bunch of fish there, sometimes they just whale the bait because they're afraid their buddy's going to come and take it on them. That's the one thing a lot of people don't pick up on, but when you jig fish a lot, or even if you spoon fish, if your bites are hard and you feel them, you better get that bait back in the water because there's probably 2 or 3 more fish there at least.
There's one.
I was just watching, it looked like he had a snag.
It's bigger than the last one.
Yeah, it looked like a good one.
I'm feeling the love.
I can tell when you set up the hook in it. It looked like a snag.
Boy, he didn't move.
No.
Feeling the love, baby.
Now that one didn't bite because you don't look a surprise on your face when you were back.
I think it's a better fish than the last one, even.
Yeah, the way he's fighting it.
Oh, man.
We haven't seen him yet.
Oh, it's a
he's a big
snake.
snake, that's why.
Oh, he didn't fight like a snake?
No, he didn't at all. Not at all.
Now the goal is to get your spoon back.
Yeah.
Teeth, they got teeth, baby.
Want pliers?
Grab it. Walleyes don't care if you get northern slime on your hands. They
don't-
hate that
no, it's 'cause
bass
they have
slime.
fish with teeth. Hey, I got one, Daryl.
How big is it? Feel like a good one?
Hey, yeah, this is a better fish. This isn't
right.
too bad. He just zipped it. I switched over to a 3/4 and started pitching out in the deeper water. Yeah, there we
That's
go.
a decent fish.
Yeah, there you go. Good deal, man.
What a boy, Gary.
Yeah.
Man, boy, he nailed that.
Yeah,
huh?
he nailed it.
Here, I'll get it up there for you.
Nailed it.
Yes, sir. The jigging spoon.
Well, you know, sometimes you really like to fish these fish shallow with spoons because when they're
Oh, yeah.
up shallow, they're a lot more aggressive. And this pretty much proves the versatility of these spoons. This is kind of a unique show, Daryl, because, you know, nationwide, when you talk about spoon fishing, everybody thinks about the bass fishermen in the winter when they're vertical jigging these Hopkins over deep structure. You know, they can't get the fish any other way. The fish go deep, and that's how they do it. But when we spoon fish, there's not a lot of times where we're vertical fishing them, you know, because when they're that deep, we've got a lot of other presentations that seem to be more efficient, cover water faster, although sometimes they'll hit vertical spoons. But we're talking about a casting presentation. And I don't think very many people use spoons like this in a casting presentation. I think overall, the vast majority of spoons sold in the United States today are used for vertical fishing. It's too bad because they're missing the boat.
Gary and Daryl moved to a long tapering point that they could see jutting out into the lake. The drop-off here is a bit steeper, so they work the spoons in deeper water between 10 and 25 feet.
Yeah, he's a decent fish.
All right.
I missed it. You know, he went tick, tick, and then there he was, and then he missed him. There we go.
Yeah, all right, baby.
Boy, they're on
Yeah.
a spoon bite now.
Yes, they are.
That's fun. You could just feel, you know, they come after it. It's such an aggressive technique. They whack at it sometimes and miss, and then, boom, back they come. There you go, little guy.
Oh, Gary, I just missed one.
You did.
Man, I'm just gonna vertical jig on him. Oh, yeah.
You got him?
Got him.
I can't
Good
believe
fish,
that.
too.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, he came back. Oh, it's a nice one, too.
Is it a good one?
Yep. Oh, look at
Oh yeah, it's a walleye too.
that. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a nice fish, man. Wow. Boy, they are so fat here.
Aren't they?
Unreal. He hammered it.
Didn't he?
Look how fat he is, Daryl.
Smell? You can smell it.
It must be. Holy man, well, I'm gonna let this little guy go. He's not a little guy, he's a big fat porker.
Oftentimes, walleyes will follow the spoon all the way to the boat, so it's important to be as stealthy as possible. The ultra-quiet trolling motor Gary and Daryl are using keeps the fish from spooking, and it also keeps them on the structure better. Tracking capabilities built into the motor keep the anglers at a particular depth, which makes for easier boat handling and allows for more concentration on fishing.
Ooh, I got one.
Really? Oh, man.
Oh, it's a good fish too. It's a really good fish. Okay. Oh, he looked like a white-tailed one too.
Oh, yeah. That'd be
Either
nice.
that or a northern. Woo! He's a good fish.
He's a big one.
He's a good one. Come back here. Oh, big old northerino.
Northern. You got a northern there, eh?
I think I got a northern, and it's a nice one. Yeah, oh, we're gonna have to net him so we don't lose the spoon.
Look at the canines on that puppy. Oh, Gary, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a nice fish. Fat. Look how fat he is. Oh my goodness.
Yes, he's a chunk.
I think he wanted that one, Daryl.
Yeah, well, that's a typical northern.
Oh, look how fat that fish
Isn't
is.
that a chunk? There's a wide body.
Oh my goodness.
Man,
He must be pigging out on smelts or
look
something.
at that fish, Gary.
Yeah.
It's a dandy. Wow.
I haven't seen a northern with a gut like that.
You want to reach in there and take the spoon out?
No, no, you can do that.
I'll hold the mouth open
No,
for
you've
you.
got the fish in your hands. You can go ahead and take the spoon out.
I promise I won't let go.
No. I'm pitching my spoon to deep water here, and the setup that I'm using is a setup that I learned how to use years ago. It's kind of like the mainstay spoon setup. I've got a heavy rod. Let me reel this in here quick, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. I've got a heavy rod and reel. This is an 8.5 foot bait caster. Actually, it's one of the trolling rods that Kavaius and I designed for Bass Pro Shops. It's real stiff, and it gives you a real good swing. You could use a 7.5 to 8.5 foot rod. Typical bait caster. The line setup will be 10 to 12 pound test. I'm using 12 pound test sensation line right now. It's got the diameter of 10 pound, but with a lot of strength. The Hopkins spoon, Daryl will talk about the Hopkins spoon actions in a little bit. This is a setup that's used for 3/4 ounce and 1 ounce spoons. Okay, and many people use it for shallow water, but the one thing that I found out in fishing with Daryl, and he's basically taken spoon fishing to a new level, is that when you're pitching shallower water, or especially when you're using smaller spoons, and that's the one thing that I found out in fishing with him in this trip, he loves to use small spoons. And I didn't realize how effective they could be. But for spoons that are 1/2 ounce and smaller, the 1/3 ounce, or some of them are only that long, what you want to use is a spinning rod setup. I have the same 12 pound sensation here. Again, the line diameters are the same. That is actually a pretty good choice of line. Your typical spinning rod and reel setup, I'm using a 6.5 footer here. Actually, I'm using a 7 footer here. Daryl suggested that would be a good length because I'm about 6 feet tall. He uses a 6.5 footer. He's a little bit shorter. It gives you the perfect stroke length when you're using this action on these small spoons. Spinning rods for shallow and small spoons, bait casting rods for the heavier spoons and a little bit deeper water. It works really, really well.
Back to more spoon fishing in Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
Man, oh man. Oh, he's not too bad. Boom!
These fish are starting to slide up.
Yes, they are.
I'm frightened to think what's going to be in here in a little bit. Ooh, man, giving me goosebumps. The reason we're using a Hopkins spoon today is because it's beveled on each end and it's a tapered spoon. This allows the spoon to flutter backwards on your retrieve. Do not ever tie a spoon directly to your line. It's going to cut your line. You want to use a snap, not a snap swivel. Swivel will spin the spoon. You just want the snap on there so it flutters backward. I'm going to show you how to present this bait, which will allow it to flutter backwards. You simply cast it to the edge of structure. What I like to do is work it in, cast into the structure, work it back off the structure. As soon as that bait hits bottom, I will crank up my slack like this and snap the spoon. You can see how high I snapped that. Then I'll let it free fall back to the bottom. It's also important to leave the spoon on the bottom at a count of like 1 or 2 seconds before snapping it again, because a lot of the times a walleye will pick it up off the bottom because they think it's an injured bait fish. If you snap it too fast, you're going to continuously yank it away from that fish just before he comes to hit it. Gary, good fish.
That's a fish?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, man. I saw you set the hook and your rod just about looked like it was going to break.
He's going around the other side. Yep. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, look at that
Yes, it is a
eye.
walleye.
Oh,
It's a good one.
there we go. All right.
Ooh, good job, man.
Whew. All right. Man, the spoon come right out of him,
Yeah,
too.
he came right out. Boy, is that a beautiful fish. You're the walleye meister.
You see, jigging spoons can be as effective as any of the mainstream fishing techniques.
Oh man, a good fish.
In fact, they are just as deadly on walleyes and northern pike.
Live to fight another day.
So use the right equipment and develop the relatively unknown skill of walleye spooning. Just by adding this little twist to your bag of tricks, you might all of a sudden find yourself loading the boat.
Heavy metal walleyes.
Hot Topics, leading-edge techniques and tackle designed to put more fish in your boat. Brought to you by thenextbite.com. Real fishing information from real fishing experts.
Oh man, I got him! I got him! Oh, what a great fish. And I tell you what, this fish has been caught on one of the probably the hottest topics going in walleye fishing, and that is holographic finishes. Today I'm fishing open water spinners, but holographics are also good on jigs, crankbaits, you know, pretty much anything we use for walleye fishing. Look at this fish here though. Caught on an open water spinner with what I would call a holographic system of components. So let me quick put this guy in the live well and then show you what I mean by holographics and the components I'm using. Basically, an open water spinner is just a big spinner that we run out in basin areas off of structure, and we need a weight that gets this spinner down to a particular depth. In this case, I'm using what's called an inline keel weight, and you can see that this has a very shiny holographic finish to it. This thing sits down in the water and shines and throws off different light and different patterns, and hopefully attracts the fish in close, and then running close behind it is our spinner. Now on the spinner we also have holographics. You can see the blade is very shiny and bright. Holographics are nice because they do two things. They give you both color and shine, and both of those things are what can attract fish. So we've got a nice holographic blade on here, but one other kind of new thing that's out is holographic bodies. A lot of people put beads on their spinners here to give a little bit of color, but again with a holographic body, this thing will slowly turn as it's coming through the water, and again you get color and shine at the same time to hopefully attract those fish in. So holographics are, you know, one of the best, I'll call them colors going, because not only do they have color, but they have shine, and they'll catch you lots of walleyes. Oh yeah, here she goes. She's got some power. There she goes,
There
Dale.
she goes, yeah.
Pretty fish, huh?
Oh, beauty. What a beautiful fish.
Daryl, this is actually kind of a
Fish!
got one?
Yep.
Is it a good one?
You don't feel that big.
Go too fast.
Actually, doesn't feel like a fish. But he is. Oh, an eater.
Oh, that's the opening. The next bite.
Smoking in the fish.
I win! I win!
You win. You got your big one. Gary, you're using too small a spoon.
Oh, man. Cool stuff.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm doing the jigging spoon rock. Heavy metal, Dan. We're talking heavy metal here.
Michigan's Upper Peninsula is an outdoorsman's paradise with excellent opportunities for fishing, hunting, snowmobiling, and skiing. For great year-round lodging in the UP, stay at the Northgate Motel. Call 1-800-373-7703. The Next Bite is a production of Marine Grade Marketing.